It's coffee time. I'm at like the dredges on the bottom that are always a lot stronger. It's not like Turkish coffee where there's actual grounds at the bottom, but you know, it's thicker. It's still good. It's just a bit stronger than I was expecting to drink just then. So yesterday in the comment section, a lot of you were asking me, Duger, you never mentioned Indiecade. How was Indiecade? What did you do? Did you have fun? Etc., etc., etc. The truth is I didn't go to Indiecade, which is why I didn't mention Indiecade. I did a compromise where I met up with a couple of people that I knew were in town, that are friends of mine, that were at Indiecade, but I didn't actually go to Indiecade because I needed to get a handle on my life. I had like no underwear left. I hadn't done laundry. It was just like, I seriously need to get a handle on this. Like, there was a bunch of stuff in the fridge that I hadn't cooked yet that was just sitting there. I had to do all this laundry, etc., etc. So I was like, okay, I think the better idea is just to, you know, go to my multitude of friends who are very involved, ear to the ground in the indie world, and be like, what were your highlights? I'll check those out. And other than that, just, you know, see the people that I would have been excited to see at Indiecade. So that's what I wound up doing. I got breakfast with Nika and SheGeek, although I will say that wound up being kind of not an adventure. That's the wrong thing to say. But I was texted and asked, I can't remember which one it was that came first. But what? You have been meowing up a storm, and I can't tell if you're trying to tell me something or if you're just bored and you want attention. But I love you, okay? Okay, cool. So I got a text the night before that said, hey, we're going to get breakfast at Cafe Metro. Will you meet us there? And I said, sure. So I go to Cafe Metro, which is in Koreatown. And I get there and I don't see it anywhere, and I look it up on Yelp and it says closed. And I text everybody and I say, hey, it looks like Cafe Metro is closed. Where should we go instead? There are a couple places that I know of that are nearby that are still diners, blah, blah, blah. And SheGeek responds, her name's Kate, I'll just call her Kate. Kate responds and says, oh, but I'm standing outside of it right now. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm here and I definitely don't see you. And she sends me the address, and it's in Culver City, which makes a lot more sense because Indiecade happens in Culver City. And I was like, okay, what did you say the name of this place was? And she goes, it's the Metro Cafe. And I was like, only in LA where we have this problem, where there's Cafe Metro and Metro Cafe. They're on completely opposite ends of a city. I was just like, oh, God. So I asked if they were willing to wait for me, and they were like, sure, why not? And I had to drive an extra, like, half an hour to get to them. And my GPS was not helpful at all. Like, took me in the completely wrong direction, then was like, what are you doing, dummy? Do a U-turn. And I was like, I hate you so much. So I finally, once I knew I was close, I just parked and walked. But the walk took like a while too, and I was like, oh God, that was the wrong choice too. But yeah, so that was my Sunday. That was the Sunday that I didn't wind up talking about, and that video didn't wind up going up. The video itself was a little bit down, I guess. And so when it didn't upload, I was like, that's okay. I was in a bad mood anyway, so whatever. But yeah, and then the weird thing was that the video I put up yesterday, I guess, like, the video was encoded. Let's see if I get this right. The video said that it was encoded on Sunday, which obviously is impossible, right? Because I recorded it on Monday. I had gotten home and it was sweltering in my apartment, so I changed clothes. And I mentioned that my coffee machine had arrived the day before. And I wound up with more than one message being like, you recorded this on Sunday, didn't you? I was like, what? They were like, well, your clothes are different from the clothes that you wore on Daily Bite. you don't get mail on Sundays, so how did you get your coffee machine? And it says that it was encoded on Sunday. So why did you make a video on Sunday and pretend it was on Monday? And I was like, what? This is blowing my mind. And I like went and checked everything and I was like, oh my God, you're right. This is so weird. Like everything together looks so much like a weird conspiracy. And I was like, what on earth would have been the point of me making a video on Sunday and being like, it's Monday, guys. And like timing out a text, right? Because I talked about a thing that I saw that day and I texted about it or tweeted about it, about the guy on the bus, right? It's like, oh my gosh, that would have been, I would be a crazy person if I did that. Like, what on earth would be the point? Anyway, I thought that was so interesting. But today, to catch you up to where we actually are, today I got up late and went and did Daily Bite. And then we recorded Clash of Clans because I had been asked whether or not I was interested in playing Clash of Clans and being paid for it. And I was like, sure, why not? I've never done a mobile game on my show, and I'm trying to do more gameplay, and as long as I can be honest, I don't care. And so went in and we did capture for that. But that took a while because iPads have changed now. iPads have changed just like iPhones have changed. So we had a connector for like an old iPad, but the only iPad that we had was a new one that needed the new connector. And that turned into just a flurry of happiness with all of us running around everywhere trying to find the cord because we know we have it, but we just couldn't find it anywhere. So then one of the dudes that works with us had to run over to a different building and get the cord and then come back. And I was like, I'm so sorry, you guys. Like, this is honestly not that big of a deal if I get this done today or not. Like, it's fine. And they were like, no, we're gonna do this. So I was like, okay. So I got that done. Came back, did the podcast, which was fun. I've never actually talked to Sips until today. He and I have tweeted at each other quite a bit. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I get to actually like talk to him. Not in person, right? But like, you know, it's the friendship progression. We're going to slowly become best friends, I've decided. But that was very, very fun. Did the co-optional podcast. The kitten was constantly trying to get my quinoa chili, and that made me very upset. It's like, kitty, I love you, but you need to go. Oh my God, I just noticed. There we go. That he's just like sitting there like, hey. Hey, what you doing? You just being a creep? Look at your little face. You look like a Halloween kitty. You look like a Halloween kitty. Oh, precious boy. And then during the break, the break between podcasts, because again, I do the manga pod at 7:30 on Tuesdays as well. So during the break, I got the Clash of Clans video up and tried to clean a little bit because my brother's actually going to be in town tomorrow. So I was like, oh man, I mean, it's not like my place is messy. It's just there was clutter in a lot of places that I just hadn't put away. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to walk around and, you know, take care of little things because the little things add up to a nice looking space. So I did that for a while, and then we did manga pod and talked about Berserk, and that was good. We had like a big debate. Maybe not a big debate. Maybe that's selling it as bigger than it is. But during sound check, we were like, okay, so obviously we want to give a trigger warning, but like, how should we do it? Because half of us were in the camp of we should do a trigger warning and not say anything, like not say the actual specific triggers. And then the other half of us were like, well, but, you know, like what the trigger is matters. Like, you know, certain things bother me and certain things don't, just like anybody else. So that was interesting. But Berserk was fun to talk about, and it was nice having another guest because Alex is great. And he knows his stuff, obviously. Like, he had plenty to say, which was nice. And then and then I went to see Gravity again. Because why not? Ginger Hayes really wanted to see it. So I was like, okay. let's go, let's do it. So we went and saw it. She didn't like it as much as most people have, which is fine. But it was fun to see it a second time because this time I knew what was going to happen. So I didn't have the same stress by any means. Like, there wasn't nearly as much stress. But, what are you doing? He's gonna growl at you. Every time you try to attack his tail, he gets upset. She's not listening. She just doesn't care. But, yeah, Gravity is great. Gravity is primo movie experience, I think. And now I'm going to go to bed. But I hope that you guys had an amazing day. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye. Mwah.